Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today it's the 1965 United States Washington quarter, the first year of the no mint mark quarters. The no mint mark quarters in the United States were in 1965, 1966, and 1967. Every quarter, in fact, every coin in the United States was a no mint mark coin. So in 1964, they made the last of the silver quarters, and you can't tell the mint mark on this quarter from the front in 1964. It's a Washington quarter. It's 90% silver if you turn it up on its side. The mint mark on these is going to be down in the back, down underneath, and you see this is a Denver 1964. When the United States decided to go away from silver quarters and go to clad quarters, one of the first things they did was try to use up all the silver and use up all the silver planchets. In order to do that, they actually kept making 1964 quarters until well into 1965. Then in 1965, they started making the clad quarters, but they didn't make many of the clad quarters in 1965 because they had been trying to catch up with the silver quarters and because they've been trying to get everything set up for all the other coins. Now, when did they make the 1965 quarters? 1964 quarters, they made them in 1965. They made some of the 1965 quarters at the end of 1965, but they made most of them in 1966. Where did they make them? Well, they made them at the San Francisco Mint, the Denver Mint, and the Philadelphia Mint. So this is a clad quarter, and you can see on the inside of this quarter there is copper. That brown is a copper on the inside of the quarter. The reason it's called clad is that it has a coating on the top and the bottom, and that's a copper nickel coating, and then inside it's fully 100% copper. These two coins are two specialty coins from 1965. So this one's just a regular one. No mint mark on this anywhere, and there will never be on a 1965 coin a mint mark. On the back you see it says United States of America. It's the eagle reverse, E pluribus unum, $quarter here. When they finally did bring the mint marks back in 1968, they put them on the front. So you'll never see a mint mark on the back after 1964. So this one here is what they call an SMS, or special mint set quarter. This one over here is just a really, really good 1965 quarter. And you can tell the difference if you look at them. And you see how much shinier this one is here. You can also tell the difference by how worn down they are. So this is George Washington. It says liberty at the top, in God we trust under his chin, 1965 here. And if we tip it up, we'll see this is going to be a really shiny copper. That's another way that you can identify often these special mint set quarters. We go on to the back of a special mint set quarter. In 1965, they made 2.3 million special mint set quarters. We look at the neck. Can't see any feathers. The shoulders of the wings, no feathers. We look at the legs, can't see any feathers. We look at the arrow, we can't see the line that goes through the center of the arrow very well. The special mint set quarters, what they did with them was they polished them. So they made a regular quarter and then just polished them as much as they could to make them shiny. What that did was, as you can see, it made the leaves, kind of wore down the leaves, wore the feathers off the eagle. Now, let's look at this one here. This is just a really good quality 1965 quarter, and this is worth a few bucks. More than a few bucks, probably. If we look at this one, we start seeing there's feathers in between the eagle's legs here. There's some feathers going down the legs, little tiny bit of a line in the center of the arrow, and these feathers come down here better, and the tail feathers come down below really well. So the 1965 regular quarter, you can tell because it's not going to be as shiny, and it's going to be more detailed. Let's look at the face a little bit. You can, when you put the two faces together, sometimes you can actually see. So in this one, you see a lot more detail in the eyes, in the lips, in the nose. On this one, you see that they polished a lot of that off. And so that's another way to look at the differences, is to look at the face in the front. That's what's going on with these. Now, how many of the regular mint quarters did they make? Well, they made 1.8 billion. So if you get a good 1965 quarter, it's going to be worth some money. The best one they found so far is an MS67 Plus. They found 11 of them. Right now, they're listed for about $900, but one has sold for $12,650 at a Stax auction on January 19th, 2005. In terms of the special mint sets, because you don't get a lot of detail on them, They're hard to get good graded ones. They found one so far that's a special mint set, or special strike they call it for PCGS. 67 deep cameo. And this is not a cameo. This doesn't have a different polish on it. 4,750. So there are some really, really expensive ones out there. If you're looking for these, they're readily available. It's really hard to get them in great shape. You will not find a mint mark on any 1965 quarter. You can't tell by looking at a 1965 quarter where they made it unless it's this one here. We know, or is it this one? No, unless it's this one. Let's look and see how worn out. Yeah, unless it's this one. The Special Mint set quarters were all made in San Francisco. So if you get one this shiny, often you're going to find it right still in the Special Mint set. In this worn, in terms of this polished so much off that it's almost smooth in places, that's always going to be made in San Francisco. This one here, that's in really good shape, we have no idea where it was made. It could have been made in San Francisco, Denver, or Philadelphia. All right, that's all we have today for the DC Coin International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel and leave any comments you have in the comments section.